Hello guys, it's Katie and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be sharing places where you can get free crochet patterns. Now hopefully some of these ideas are going to be new to you, but these are all the ideas I could think of. So if I am missing any ideas where you like to get free crochet patterns from, please do leave that in the comments down below so myself and other viewers can check it out. But with that, we're just going to get into my list. So first I'm going to start out with some of the more obvious ones, and then we'll get into some of the ones that are a little less known, I think at least. So the first idea is literally to Google free crochet patterns. So if you just go on your computer or your phone or whatever and type in free crochet patterns, there will be a ton of options for you. Or if you type in free crochet Afghan patterns, or whatever type of project you're looking for, you could type that in specifically with the words free crochet patterns and you should get a lot of options there. So that is kind of obvious, but that is kind of the best way, especially to find a lot of variety for patterns. And another great option is Pinterest, which is an app. And I really love Pinterest because you can save the ideas, so you don't have to go back and do a Google search whenever you're actually looking for it. You can find the one that you like the best and then save it to one of your Pinterest boards. For example, I have Pinterest boards that are like crochet stuffed animals, crochet clothes, crochet blankets, like all kinds of different categories, and then whatever the project falls under is obviously where I save that Pinterest pin, and then I can refer back to those patterns later on. So that is kind of the same idea because they normally come from people's blogs and things like that when they are free patterns, but again, that is a good way to save them in one place. Now, another great idea for you guys is YouTube. So obviously you are watching videos here on YouTube right now, and there are lots of tutorials that people make here on YouTube for free. Now, these are not going to be written patterns, obviously. Sometimes people will have written patterns for free that they'll link in the description box of a video. I normally do that for all of my crochet tutorials. I always at least have a written pattern. It may not be free, but either way I link it in the description box of the tutorial so people can use it if they're interested. But either way, a YouTube tutorial is free, so if you are willing to watch the tutorial, or if you're a beginner, a tutorial is a great way, in my opinion, to see what's going on and also get the pattern for free. So that is another great option as well. Next, we have some pattern sites that I wanted to mention that are specifically for selling or posting patterns. So all of these sites obviously have free patterns if I'm mentioning them. Places like Etsy and stuff are not going to have free patterns, but there are some sites that do have free patterns. So the first one that you can actually find all of my free patterns on is Ribbler, and my Ribbler shop and all of that is always linked below for you guys. And it's just Katie Being Creative. I'm Katie Being Creative everywhere if you want to check it out. But I have a lot of free patterns. I can put pictures around on the screen here for you guys, and this is just going to be a few of them. So if you are interested in seeing any of them or using any of them, of course my Ribbler shop will be linked below, but Ribbler is a great one to check out. That is ribbler.com or Ribbler the app, and there is so many free patterns on there, as well as patterns that you can purchase. If you do find a pattern that you like and you want to purchase it, obviously do so, but there's also plenty of free options on there. Next is Ravelry, which again is kind of the same as Ribbler, as in they have free and paid patterns, but a lot of free options as well. So if you're looking for something specific, you can always go on there and search it and see if they have something for free on there. We also have We Crochet, which is again another great option for free and paid patterns. On knitpicks.com there are also free and paid crochet patterns, so if you are interested in checking those out, again, that is another good one. There are a lot of sites that do free and paid ones, so like I said in the beginning of this video, I might not be remembering all of them. So if there are any sites that you're thinking of that you like to use, go ahead and comment them below for me and other people. But that is my list for sites that have free and paid crochet patterns. And most of these sites have the ability for knitting and crochet, even sewing patterns, stuff like that. So you're not going to just find crochet. Some of them are just crochet, but a lot of them have more options than just crochet, which is also very cool. Now next I have listed is premieryarns.com, and if you go to their patterns section, they have all patterns, knitting patterns, crochet patterns, handcrafts, all kinds of stuff. So of course you would want to go to crochet patterns, and all of these are free. And a good thing about this is if you have Premier yarn that you want to use, all of these patterns are going to be made with Premier yarn. So if that's something you're interested in, actually going to the website of a specific yarn company, I feel like is a great idea to find crochet patterns using specific yarns, if that makes any sense. So this is something that I like to do, and on a lot of these sites that I'm mentioning to you guys, you can actually sort by the yarn weight that you have, you can sort by the type, so knit or crochet, you can sort by the fiber, so what type of yarn it is, and you can sort by the color, which I think this is great because then you can obviously decide on which patterns are going to be the best options for you based off of what yarns you have. So I think this is a great way to also use up yarns you already have. And like I was saying, these patterns are all going to be made with Premier yarns. So if you have a bunch of like a specific type of yarn, then going to the brand's website might be a good idea if they have crochet patterns. Next is Hobbii.com, which again, they have the same sort of thing where you can go to the side and look at patterns, and they even have a section for free patterns, which is very nice because you don't have to just go through all of them that are free and paid. You can just look at only free, which is really great in my opinion. And then something that's also really cool is whenever you click on a pattern, it will show you what yarns exactly was used in it, and you can add them to your cart, which is also very helpful if this is something that you want to buy yarn for. Next we have lovecrafts.com, which is another site that sells yarn, but they also have patterns. So one of their first tabs is free crochet patterns. So when you click on this, you can see all of them here. And again, whenever you click on something, it's going to give you all the information, and you can click see the yarns, and when you do that, it comes up with all of the different colors and all of that. So that is really useful, I think. Next is Joann.com, which you guys may not know, but Joann does have free patterns on their site. I actually didn't know this for a long time, but this is the case, and I personally find it hard to get to in their app. You can get to it in their app, but it's a lot harder. So I am going to show you guys on their website. So you can just click on the projects and learning page. Then they have project ideas, guides and how-tos, classes and events, take home crafts, Joann YouTube channel, all projects and learning. So if you go to project ideas, there is yarn and needle arts. And then there's crocheting patterns, knitting patterns, cross stitch, figure knitting, all of that kind of stuff. I'm going to obviously go to crochet patterns. And it says there is 2,683 crochet patterns. As of filming this video, there might be even more as of you watching this video. So that is another good place to get them. Again, I'm pretty sure you can get them in the Joann app as well, but I find it a lot harder to get to, so I would just recommend Joann.com. Next we have lionbrand.com, which is fairly similar to all of the ones I've been showing you. When you click on the little side bars, you can go to patterns, and then you can go to craft, and I'm going to go to crochet, and then there is options here. And whenever you click on one, it's actually going to tell you how much of the yarn you would need. And if you were looking to buy the yarn, you can hit add it to your cart, or you can just hit below where it says download free pattern, and obviously that will give you just the pattern instead of the yarn and everything else included. So that's another great option. Next I have yarnspirations.com, which again is almost the same exact way to get to the patterns as all the other sites. You click on the side, and then there is patterns, go to crochet patterns, and they have a ton of them. This says there is 5,081 results, and again, there is so many different options: blankets, cardigans, tops, toys, like you can filter by all of that as well, which is really helpful as well if you are trying to obviously make something specific. They have filter by accessories, clothing, holiday, home decor, skill level, so you can do beginner, easy, intermediate, experienced. You can sort by the brand that the yarn is, all of that kind of stuff. So definitely a lot of options there for your inspirations, and I do find myself using a lot of their patterns as well. So again, that's a really good option. Next we have the Michaels app. Again, this is kind of like Joanne. I think you can do it on michaels.com as well, but I have figured it out on the Michaels app, so that's what I'm going to be showing you. So when you're on your Michaels app, you can hit the more button with the 3 little dots, and then there is a projects button. When you hit that, there is a bunch of different projects listed. You're going to want to scroll down to yarn, and then that's when you can filter by all of these different categories. I'm going to go to all crochet just to show you, and of course it gives you the type of yarn, and it gives you how long the project's going to take, and the skill level, all that kind of stuff. So again, kind of like Joanne had it, it's set up very similar, and there's a lot of options. And they also do the thing where they have supplies, and you can hit add to my cart, and you can get it shipped to you or do a pickup order, all of that. And then they have the instructions tab where the pattern is actually going to be listed. So again, a super good resource on that. And another thing with Michaels, and I think this is probably the most fun way to get patterns, I think, is the little take-home ones that you can grab in the store. I have a lot of them here, a lot of examples, but this first one is the loop stitch chevron crochet blanket, and in my store it is on a little end of the aisle in between the 2 yarn aisles, but I've also seen them at like the very front of stores and stuff like that, so I'm not exactly sure where they're going to be in every store obviously. But when you see these little things, they say take one free on the corner, and you can just pull them off, and there's so many options. But they are, I'm pretty sure, the same patterns that are on the Michaels app and michaels.com, but just a written out version. So the front is a picture, and it tells you about the amount of time, the skill level, and the yarn, of course. And then on the back it tells you exactly everything you'll need, as well as the actual pattern. So there's tons of options. I have a blanket one right here. I have 2 different pillow ones. I have a hat, which this is actually a knit hat. It says it is easy, so I thought this would be something good for me, even though I haven't been doing much knitting. But again, there is a lot of options. There's even a pair of knit socks, which I don't know if I'll ever make, but I do have it in case. I know I have like an amigurumi narwhal, I think, somewhere from one of these as well. So they have a lot of options for those as well when you're in store, as long as obviously they've stocked them. But that is another option for Michaels, which I think is really cool. And they're one of the only stores I've seen that does that, at least for me locally. I don't know if maybe like Joanne or Hobby Lobby or something does that in other locations, but for my local stores, Michaels is pretty much the only one that does that. So I do think it's really cool. And my final way for you guys to get free crochet patterns is on yarn packages. So just as an example, this is a Caron 1 pound skein of yarn, and if you look at a skein of yarn, sometimes it will have a picture right here, and underneath it says free pattern on label. This is how you know that a free crochet pattern is included with it. And it also, again, just like these little cards from Michaels, it does give you the skill level it gives you the amount of skeins you're gonna need and the hook size. And you have to be careful because they do have knitting and crochet. So if you're only a crocheter, you probably want to grab one with a crochet pattern instead of a knitting pattern, if you're going to actually use the pattern. If not, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, this is a pattern for a crochet tassel throw. So when you flip this over, there is the instructions for how much yarn you're going to need and the instructions for the rows and everything. And it's also in 2 different languages, I believe Spanish. Yeah, that's Spanish. I know enough Spanish to know that's Spanish, I think. I hope. But anyway, I believe this is Spanish, so it is also in 2 separate languages, the same exact pattern. So this is another great way to get free crochet patterns, and there are actually a lot of options. Even the same yarns will have different patterns on them a lot of times. If you look at the pictures, they'll be different, and you can see the name of the pattern is probably different if the picture is different. So that is kind of it. There are some brands that don't do this and have free patterns on the label, but a lot of them do. So if you are looking in stores, obviously if you see a picture on the label, look and see if it says free crochet pattern on the label. If it does say that, then that yarn does have a pattern with it. So that is a great way to get more free crochet patterns if you are on a budget and looking for free crochet patterns. Now obviously there's nothing wrong with using free crochet patterns, but it is also great to support creators and designers that are designing crochet patterns that are not for free, and supporting small businesses as well. So I just wanted to include that in here, that obviously nothing wrong with free crochet patterns. I use free ones all the time, but I also like to purchase from people that are putting a lot of hard work into creating crochet patterns, because I also create crochet patterns, so I know how it is. But yeah, plenty of free ones in all of these places we talked about. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have heard of all of these places for free crochet patterns, or if any of these ideas were new to you. I hope at least 1 or 2 of them were new ideas for you to check out. And of course, like I said earlier in the video, let me know if I missed out on sharing any other places that you can find free crochet patterns, because obviously that would be great for me and for other viewers to know. And if you do want to make sure that you don't miss out on any other videos like this one, as well as all of my other videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the post notification bell. That way you know every single time I upload a brand new video. And if you guys do want to see more from me, you can always check out more videos of mine, my blog, my Etsy shop, my podcast, all of my social medias, my vlog channel, and my Rippler shop for those free crochet patterns. All of that is always linked in the description box down below for you guys. And with all of that, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys here in the next video. Goodbye!